Hello everyone. Welcome. Today, we are tackling a common and frustrating SQL Server error, cannot generate SSPI context. This error often pops up when trying to connect to your SQL Server. It can block your applications and leave you scratching your head. But don't worry. We're going to break down the causes and provide easy-to-follow solutions to get you back on track. Let's dive in and fix this. First, let's understand what causes this issue. The cannot generate SSPI context error is almost always related to authentication. Specifically, it involves Kerberos authentication. Kerberos is a network authentication protocol. It allows secure communication between a client and a server. Several factors can cause this Kerberos failure. Incorrect service principal names, SPNs, are a very common culprit. An SPN is a unique identifier for a service instance. It's how Kerberos identifies the SQL Server service. If the SPN is missing, incorrect, or duplicated, authentication will fail. Another cause could be DNS resolution problems. Your client machine needs to be able to correctly resolve the SQL Server's hostname to its IP address. If DNS is misconfigured, Kerberos won't be able to locate the server. Account permissions are also crucial. The account running the SQL Server service needs the correct permissions to register the SPN. Insufficient permissions can prevent the SPN from being created or updated. Let's move to how we can fix this issue. First, verify the SPNs. You can use the setspn command line tool to list and manage SPNs. Open a command prompt as an administrator. Use the command setspn L SQL Server service account. Replace SQL Server service account with the account running your SQL Server service. Check if the necessary SPNs for SQL Server are listed. If SPNs are missing, you can add them using the command setspn MSSQLSvc /SQL Server hostname SQL Server port SQL Server service account. Also, add setspn MSSQLSvc /SQL Server FQDN SQL Server port SQL Server service account. Make sure to replace placeholders with your actual values. Next, test DNS resolution. Use the ping command to verify that your client machine can resolve the SQL Server's hostname. Open a command prompt and type ping SQL Server hostname. If the ping fails, investigate your DNS settings. Ensure that the DNS server is configured correctly and that the SQL Server hostname is properly registered. Another solution is to check account permissions. Ensure the SQL Server service account has read and write permissions to the servicePrincipalName attribute on its own account object in Active Directory. The final fix is to disable Kerberos and fall back to NTLM authentication, only as a last resort. You can do this by adding the trusted_connection equals yes, authentication equals NTLM, to your connection string. This is not recommended for security reasons. It's always better to resolve the underlying Kerberos issues. We've covered the main causes and solutions for the cannot generate SSPI context error. Now you should be able to diagnose and fix this issue quickly. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking it and subscribing for more SQL Server tips and tricks. Your support helps us create more content like this. Leave a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos.